What is happening out there in Possum Kingdom, y'all? It is your good pal Adam here for today's intro. I hope you have forgiven me for my attacks on Zeno, but he made it. It's been a few weeks. Can we all just be friends again? I just want to take a quick second to give you a few updates on what is happening in the Southern Tomfoolery world. First up, we are all getting excited for our next Southern Tomfoolery get-together, which is this weekend. Depending on when you are listening, we are either getting ready for the weekend, sauced, or nursing a hangover. You know, we don't get to hang out in person enough, and these little excursions are always so fun for us and help generate so many fun and new exciting ideas for the podcast. So be sure to stay tuned to our Discord and social media for pictures and videos from the weekend. I also want to say a big thank you to all of our patrons. Y'all's support means so much to us, and really, there aren't words enough to express our gratitude. We are not far from reaching our second and third goals, and that's because of y'all. Speaking of, we are about to record our first Hacky Sack Adventures episode, featuring Weldy and his pals, with a couple new characters to boot. This first episode will be available to each and every one of you in a couple of weeks. This is a teaser episode for sure, but if you like what you hear, consider subbing to our Patreon so we can continue to bring you more episodes of the Saturday morning cartoon-style adventures GM'd by your favorite possum, Emily. We hope you have enjoyed these last few episodes as we have eased ourselves into the final and third book of the Against the Aeon Throne adventure path. I have a few surprises in store for y'all and the players during this book. Evil hand-wringing ensues. But without any further rambling from me, it is my pleasure to present to you Episode 41, A Rest and Development. So, you know, I think it's important to have a good workspace. And I just want to say, I'm really, really excited about my rearranged space. I got everything within arm's reach. I feel inspired, a little bit more feng shui. Am I saying that right?
No.
Okay. I don't think it's properly feng shui.
I think feng shui is a state that you achieve with your
with the arrangement
design,
yeah. So I've totally flipped this room, and it just feels a lot better. I feel like I actually have a workstation that I'm not just taking up a corner of a room. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You vibing?
That's all to say that I think I'm particularly primed to really screw y'all over.
I knew that was coming.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Adam,
Yeah.
I am forever ready to be fucked by you.
Crazy.
Scandalous and salacious.
You're making me want to take back my next bit here, which is I have this beer that I wanted to show you. It's from Clown Shoes Brewery, and it's called Josh the Guava King.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, but I don't want to lead you on by telling you I'm going to drink you. You know what I mean?
See, that's just rewarding bad behavior.
I know.
Oh yeah. See,
anyways,
I hear that opening. I thought you were saying that you got that, so the next time I came to see you, I could have a mini beer.
I'm drinking. No, I'm drinking this all by myself.
What he isn't saying though is that Adam is saying that he is thirsty.
Ooh.
Hey, nice job there, John.
This went an entirely different direction than I thought it was going to go. I thought this was going to lead into
I'm telling you, I'm feeling.
I just thought it was going to lead into his admiration of spreadsheets or something.
No. I mean, I do have a deep love for spreadsheets.
Cool, move
I don't
on.
think that's any secret at this point. Right. But hey, Josh, Your guava beer is very good. It's a double India Pale Ale made with guava.
I mean, that
It's
sounds
really.
Are
really
we
tasty.
just advertising for this beer
fantastic.
company right now?
I mean, yeah,
good
kind of
enough.
accidentally.
Well,
so,
I mean,
yeah.
the whole chutneys and jams didn't pan out.
I mean,
so.
chutneys and jams.
We got to pivot.
If you
We
didn't
do.
say
We
it,
got to. We haven't pivoted in a while, you
We
guys.
haven't.
we
we
need to
sort
pivot
of-
to
We're
We
doing
let
We're going
the
to pivot to
format get
clown
stale.
shoes because I think that's appropriate for Tomfoolery. And they have a beer called Josh the Guava King. So,
You may all henceforth call me Guava King.
yeah, I'm good.
no.
No.
Nah.
However, Josh, the next time you do come down and visit, I will take you to where I purchased said beer and we will drink one together. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Nice.
In the spirit of our good friends from Ohio, what are y'all drinking this evening?
Red Bull.
It gives
Red
you
Bull.
wings.
Okay.
Yeah, Red Bull second session, I'm gonna switch to Southern Pecan.
Oh, okay. All right.
A little lazy magnolia there.
What about you,
Local
John?
brewery.
Vodka?
Yeah.
Vodka? Heath, are you drinking tonight?
I did drink a little vodka. I'm also drinking a Busch Light. Don't let the fancy clothes from work fool you.
This is like the second week in a row that you're like way over outdressing us.
Yeah.
You know, you had like a costume, last week when we recorded Tom Talks, although our timing I know is all screwed up. But as far as recording here, you are definitely outshining us on this audio only medium.
Yeah, I look
with
better
your
than you,
visual
but no
dress.
one will ever know.
The secret.
Well, I'm here to tell all of you, Heath is looking quite dapper this
Sharp
evening.
even.
I had to play my other character, Mr. Heath, today. So
Mr. Heath. Oh, okay.
Well, hold on, I've got to
Josh-
share something real quick. I'm going to tell you. My grandfather used to say this. He says, "Oh, you're sharp, you're real sharp, like a rat turd, sharp on both sides."
Are rat turds sharp?
I'm not familiar enough with
guess so.
rat turds.
I just thought about it and I was like, "Oh, it's a weird ass Southern saying. Let's use that."
It also
I've
And
never
I've had
heard it.
a
What's
long
like-
day.
Are you drunk? Are you already drunk?
like, is it? It feels like
You
a
need a drink?
backhanded compliment.
A little.
Drunk on obscure
Sharp like a
idioms.
rat.
You're about as sharp as a rabbit turd,
No, a
both
rat
ends
turd.
even.
A
It's a rat
rat turd.
turd.
It's not even a
Rat
rabbit turd. It's a
turd.
Yeah,
rat
because they're
turd.
sharp on both ends.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, sure,
Are
okay.
they though? I guess I've
Emily,
examined
It's
No,
one
science.
no, I'm
closely.
taking this back. I'm taking this back. Nope, nope, nope.
How can you bring us back full circle?
Yeah, Emily, what are you drinking?
Right now, water, but
No, you need an alcoholic beverage. I'll even take some time for you to go fix one if you want to go fix one right now, because you're bringing up rat turds in the first 5 minutes of this recording, and I don't know.
I
don't
have
know.
a beer in the fridge. I'll grab my beer. Come back to me.
Okay, all right, Josh, what are you drinking?
I have. I'm a turncoat. I've shunned the way of Truly, and I'm drinking a White Claw Ruby Grapefruit.
How fucking dare you? You're not drinking Truly? This person is untruly. Untruly.
That's true.
Truly.
Truly. No, I just figured I'd try it out. I hadn't had a White Claw in a while, and
What flavor are you drinking there?
the Ruby Grapefruit.
Well, I will tell you that my Guava King is better than your Ruby Grapefruit.
I
So is Truly.
completely agree. I've never had it. I completely agree.
Oh wow, we're still doing this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, Josh decided to go to the other side and become a White Claw drinker. Look, the spritzer thing's already kind of its
Insincere.
own thing. But I thought we were a Truly podcast, and here you are drinking
Truly
White Claw.
family.
I mean,
How are we ever supposed to get that Truly sponsorship now?
guys, is there any way to
Pivot.
via audio give off a shruggy emoji? Like, how can I
Get outta
say
here.
that?
I
Get
think
outta
it's
Meh.
All right, so there you go.
It's equally as frustrating in audio format too. Okay, Emily, did you get your beer, or do I have to wait like an hour for you to go get it?
I have the
Okay, what'd you get?
and I have a Devil's Harvest. It's a breakfast
Yay.
IPA.
That beer is so
That's
good.
that's my favorite
It's
beer.
my favorite. It's my favorite. And also in honor of our Ohioans. So I don't know. Click. I did a little crack there.
A little crack. Okay.
Crack the
All right.
can.
Well, that's good. Y'all.
I broke my nail.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Let's stop the recording.
Stop the recording. You're gonna have to take all this back. Oh Lord.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, listen. Do y'all want to play some Starfinder?
Yes, please.
Oh, is that what we're here for? Okay.
Am I allowed to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll let you.
You might redeem yourself in this session.
Probably not.
There's
I'm not
time
counting
yet
on it.
to screw up worse.
So we were left with Bright leaving Mike a little stunned with the news that in his absence, the Glimshar Pirates have put together a little boxing tournament that they want Mike to be at the front and center of. And he's going to have 3 fights he's going to fight. Although he only knows who his first opponent is going to be, which is Mr. Blue, right? Is that what you named him from Monsters, Inc.?
Well, he's reminiscent for sure. Mm-hmm. Which means he's humongous.
Well, he's humongous and he's blue. And it's the Paralith that you guys met way back when. So we're going to start right there. Talk to me, fellas, lady. What's going down? Half Red and Josh just made... I'm sorry. Half Red and Fell just made their date. And that's kind of going on in one area. And then I think... Who did you tap on the shoulder when this happened? Was it Zeno or Auron or both? Can't remember.
I don't...
Not you, Phil. You're enamored with Half Red. I'm talking about when Mike got the flyer, he grabbed somebody over. It's like, what is this?
It was the linguists, which would be what Zeno and Auron. Who has the best language skills? What's shitty is that I re-listened
Probably
specifically
Ziva,
for
dude.
this.
Gonna be me.
Okay.
Now, I know that it wasn't Ziva from last episode, although that's your best person probably to aid you. I'm seeing probably Ziva just furiously scribbling in her notebook as Fell is talking to Half Red. So you're going to have to definitely get her attention, I think, because she has no idea what's going on with
She's
you.
writing a fan fiction right now.
Aggressively writing erotic fanfic. Yes.
Wow.
She's broken 3 pencils already. Just like, ah.
Wow. That is aggressive.
All right, so Mike, I turn it over to you, man. What's she gonna do here?
Yeah, I mean, I think last session it was that he turned to whoever was near him, which I think was Zeno and Auron, and was straight up told him I'm pretty sure I got entered into a boxing match, which is more than I even know for sure, but I got this bookie sheet, and he's like, we need to find out what the fuck this says. What both of these say.
Is it his
he ripped up the
Aslanti?
flyer, right?
Oh, well. Good
It
fucking
is
job, Mike.
He didn't rip up the bookie
It is an
sheet.
Aslanti. Yeah, no, speaking of that, before we go further, that brings up an interesting question that I had. I was kind of surprised that you responded so negatively to the Glimshar Pirates' opportunity to box again. I was that really, it was unexpected, You want to talk about that a little bit, or?
Yeah, I mean, I knew this was going to come up. First point of order, I was drunk by the end of last time. I think that comes through in the recording.
Wow.
All right, fair enough.
Second point of order, it's been a long time since Mike boxed proper. He's been fighting with armor on. This is boxing. It does bring up a lot of baggage mentally for him, and he fought other Vesks, he fought in divisions, regulated divisions, not knowing what random ass Street Fighter creatures he might be fighting. So it freaked him out a little bit.
Yeah, this is certainly not official or regulated by any kind of league in any kind of capacity. This is certainly some underground.
I mean, it's actual pirates.
Street boxing.
It's
Some
actual
additional
pirates.
input. He might be. I mean, he's getting on up there, man. I mean,
he's working on 50. He's late 40s.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But he's not
He doesn't have that spare tire or anything. He's got that dad strength.
I mean, he's
almost,
only getting stronger as he ages. You know, if we're talking mechanically here with the levels that he's gotten and everything, he's getting he's actually tapping into his potential for the first time in his life in his later age. So he's actually getting stronger. But I can see there being some trepidation there that it's like, man, I haven't boxed since I was
30 years old. He hasn't boxed
young
in
scaling.
Dude,
at least
50 is the new
15
30,
years.
bro. Don't even worry about it, man.
Well, but I'm just saying, knowing boxing like I do, the oldest major comeback was George Foreman, and he was in his early 40s.
Yeah. Well, you're a hero, so you got that going for you.
Yeah,
at the very least.
there's that. I think he'll get over it, but his initial response was I don't fucking know about this,
Okay. Well, so you tore up the flyer, but not the bookie sheet, right?
I have the bookie sheet.
Okay. It is in Aslanti.
Okay.
I mean, I can read it. Okay, I'll take a look at the sheet. If Ziva's still scribbling fanfic.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, it looks like a typical betting sheet, right? It has Mike's name and it has the paralith, and there are odds, for Mike to win. Heath, you're going to have to help me out with these odds here because I know nothing about this. But
all right, so plus, it's counterintuitive. If you're plus 140, you know what I'm saying? That means you're actually the underdog. That means you'll make money by betting.
You are slated to be the easy favorite in the first fight.
Oh, I'm the favorite in the first fight? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as I said, you're a hero. You just got back from the Gulta prison, you know what I mean? This is just some random creature that roams the halls of this station, and you're a professional boxer, or you were at least at some point. Right. So this is meant to be
a tune-up fight.
You can get by the odds just alone, you can intuit that this is meant to be an introduction of Mike the boxer to Outpost Z.
Yeah,
I
mean, that's what you'd call in the business a tune-up fight.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. So, I mean, betting on you now, I don't know, it would be even odds. Yeah. Is that right? If you're, yeah.
Well, no,
I mean, betting on
not if he's a favorite.
Betting on the paralith, I think, would be 10-1 odds.
10-1? That's huge. That means it's a huge underdog. Okay, well, I think that alone would ease his nerves a bit. It'd stroke his ego, but also ease his nerves. People have this much faith in me.
Yeah, Auron's the one who's kind of translating this to you, and he's in his gruff voice is kind of explaining what it says on the sheet.
Yeah, Auron actually will look over at Ziva, who's scribbling away, and then glance even further over to Fel, kind of flirting with Half-Red, and just say, "Captain, you may want to take a look at this."
Wait, yes.
Unless you're occupied.
No, of course not. And she snaps her little book, and it's a book. It's not a data pad. She goes old school. It's like an actual, those little journals.
Pencils. You don't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
don't do that on the data pad unless you're really so unintelligent that you don't realize that pencils don't work on a data pad, and you're sitting there
I mean, that's why they're breaking. No, but she snaps
is intellect your dump stat?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What can I help you with, Auron?
Mike's got himself into a fight.
Oh, Jesus. And she starts looking around, to see because she means, right now. She assumes you mean now.
No, Captain, not that kind of fight.
Oh.
It's like a boxing match or something.
Oh.
He'll hand her the sheet.
Interesting. And I will do a culture check, I believe, is for reading.
Go for it. Yeah.
Nice.
Skilled cunning linguist. Sorry.
You also have that stone, right? That gives you a bonus.
Yeah, I do.
I think it gives you a +4 bonus to understanding.
Rapidly checking her character sheet,
yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
You definitely have that bonus. So it's another +4 on top of whatever you're.
That is correct, sir. And So for my culture, got a... so rolled a 22. Well, I got a 22 on the roll. Plus 4 is 26.
26, yeah. Okay, so you're like studying it, and there's something about the actual script of the writing that's like sticking out to you a little bit.
Like, is it familiar to me, or it's just
curious?
It
is. And it's familiar, and like you really are really focusing on it, and this yellow stone that's kind of orbiting around your head starts flaring, and like the energy from the stone that is providing you're like, oh, this looks like some of the writing that I've seen from Hasachir in his space dock and stuff like that. This looks like as if it was composed by Hasachir.
Oh.
I'm gonna share that. Like, yeah, Hash is back at the thing, right? Like, he's not.
Yeah,
with
he's back
us.
at the space dock.
Yeah.
He's getting like dinner ready, and your pod's all ready for you guys because it's pretty late in the evening. You guys are still tired, but you just kind of wanted to check in with everybody before the end of the night or whatever.
So he's putting together the hamburger helper, and
Yeah, right.
it looks like maybe this was actually pinned by a good friend, Mr. Share. And she just kind of butchers his name because it's hard for her to say. It's hard for me to say.
Wait,
Hash
set this up?
Sure. It suddenly looks like his handwriting, so at least he maybe wrote the flyer, this poster thing.
The sheet.
The sheet. Yes, that's what I said. Mm-hmm.
Is he the bookie?
No, you got the sense that the Glimshar pirate was the bookie.
Sure.
It's like,
Okay.
like it just looks like the Glimshar pirates probably enlisted the help of Hasachir to actually get something on paper because they have no way to, like, they have no written language. You know what I mean? And Hasachir is the only person in the station that they're familiar with that can translate things for them. So they probably got him to help put this together.
Mystery solved.
Should have known it wasn't them because it wasn't the exact same word repeated 27 times.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, Hasachir's a pretty good editor. So I imagine you're having this conversation kind of as you walk through the marketplace. I mean, Fell's kind of already had his moment with Half Red. They've arranged the date that's going to be in 2 days, actually. So I don't know if I've established, but you guys arrived on a Tuesday. Okay? So this is now Tuesday evening. Fell's date is on a Thursday. The fight is on Wednesday night.
Oh, so I've got 1 day.
So that's tomorrow night. That's tomorrow night is his first fight. That being said, as you're walking through, is there, Auron, I think you had something that you might have wanted to do with your gun. Zach, you had told me off air that you were wanting to improve your gun. We didn't really talk much about what that is, but this would be your opportunity to go ahead and drop your gun off somewhere.
Right. So the other part of my level up was that I took versatile weapon specialization. And what that does is give you specialization in weapons your class would normally get specialization in, okay? Anyway, the way that I want to flavor that is I want to seek out a gunsmith that I can have improve my weapon for me.
Okay. You have your three main vendors here that we've talked about, right? You have Half Red, you have the little chicken mouse, and you have the hairy meatball. But you see a pretty normal-looking Sheeran, standing at a booth. And you get the sense that this isn't necessarily he doesn't have a bunch of guns on display or anything. Mm-hmm. He has a bunch of ammo, and he has a little workshop that's kind of front and center. You know, so you're okay, well, maybe this isn't somebody who sells guns, but this is somebody who does repair maybe on armor or on weaponry and stuff like that.
Okay. So, yeah, I walk up to the Sharon's booth, and Auron just, looks at him and, gives him just a curt nod and takes his rifle out of the, scabbard that he keeps on his back, unloads it, and puts it on the counter. He says, you know who I am, huh? Oh, I guess in Aslanti. In Aslanti. Well, let's try this. You speak common? Alright, so he switches to Aslanti. How about Aslanti then?
Oh yeah, that sounds real good to me. I can hear you loud and clear.
Fantastic.
What you got here? You got this beautiful gun right in front of me. I like what you got here. This is an old kind of antique type of thing. I don't see many of these around that much.
That's right. You don't. Listen, you know who I am, right?
I mean, I think I do. You're that guy, right? You're that guy with that group of people that came here that kind of just like stirred up some shit with the Aslanti, right?
That's right. That's me. So listen very carefully. When I tell you that this rifle means more to me than your life or the lives of anyone that you hold dear, I'm not just yanking your chain, right?
Oh, good lord, that seems a little strong. I mean, fuck. I ain't trying to say that I'm anything special here. I'm just,
I'm just saying.
Okay, fine.
I'll take scratch.
No. I get it. Listen, buddy. Listen. I understand. This is something important to you. You came to the right place. I'm going to take real good care of this thing for you, all right? So listen, what do you want done to this?
All right. I need the bore drilled out. Need a new twist in it. And he starts going off about all the different things that he wants done. Basically, he wants to accommodate a larger caliber in his.
So you're going to improve this particular weapon to basically a higher level weapon that has a little bit better stats. But keeping it on this weapon.
Correct.
He says, yeah, all right. I'm pretty sure I can do these things for you, but I'm going to have to order some parts. It's going to take some time to get this right. How long? Is that all right? You mind leaving it with me? I promise I'm not going to fuck it up. I'm going to make it much better for you. I swear.
All right, how long?
I'm thinking maybe 4 to 6 days, maybe 5 to 7, maybe 3 if I'm lucky. No longer than a week though.
Let's make it 3. How about that?
I'll do my best. How's that sound?
All right.
I mean, you don't have much other choice here. You could go talk to the meatball over there, but that one, good luck with getting anything out of that guy.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, fine.
So he picks up the gun, but I will say, before he puts his hands on it, he looks at you square in the eye, and kind of waits for your permission to touch it.
All right.
He nods. He kind of looks at you.
He notices and nods.
So he picks it up and he starts looking at it. He starts breaking it down, kind of looking at the condition of it, and it's in pretty good condition. I imagine Auron keeps this thing in pretty decent condition.
Oh yeah.
And he's running he's kind of looking all in. He's holding it up in the light and everything, and then he runs his insect pincers over the engravings that are on there. He says, yeah, I see that there's got some real nice star engravings on here. I like that. That's cool. That's something that's real special to you, yeah? But I see there's this word here that it looks like a word anyway. But I don't understand what it means. What is this? You want me to keep this on there for you?
Yeah, don't touch it. Don't ask me any more questions. Look, I'll see you in a few days. And Auron just stomps off.
Okay, so the rest of you kind of see this interaction as you guys are kind of just sitting back as a group, kind of waiting on Auron to do this. And he just drops, and you see him having a pretty normal conversation, but then all of a sudden he gets real flustered and just turns heel and walks away and just starts beelining back to the Star Dock from Hashachir. He's done with whatever just happened. There's a certain vibe shift that happened with Auron. Right when the salesman or the mechanic mentioned the engravings. It's getting late, right? Like, he dropped that off because he knew it was going to take some time, but I think like real shopping will probably do tomorrow. I think you guys are tired. You're worn out. You've had a long day, a long journey back, and those pods sound pretty incredible, right? So maybe make your way back to Hashachir's space dock.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you guys make your way back to Hashachir's space dock, right? Mm-hmm. And when you get there, Hashachir greets you, and he's like,
"Yeah, well, did you get everything accomplished that you were trying to? Did you see everybody that you wanted to see?"
I think that Phil certainly saw someone he wanted to see.
Did you there, cowboy?
Yeah, I got a date in 2 days.
Hey.
roll a perception check, Ziva.
Okay, I can do that. Watch me. Don't believe me? How about a 30? How about a nat 20 on that?
How about a nat 20 on that, boy?
You notice, so at the mention of that, you notice a really, really pained expression on Sedona's face. You know, just kind of a like, that's...
Like,
and she doesn't say anything, but she certainly looks like really sad to hear that. Like, really sad. Like, there's this... Her face kind of falls as Fel is talking about having this date with Half-Red. And you don't... With a nat 20, I'm going to tell you, you don't see the slightest hint of jealousy.
okay.
You know, it's not coming from that space. But nonetheless, Hashachir is like,
Oh, well, that's good for you then. Yeah, I heard that the elusive Talrin has opened a new restaurant. I think I should take her to there.
That's actually a good idea. I had no idea what to do for this date, so that's perfect.
Yeah, but in the meantime, I've made something for you. Come with me.
and he takes you into his kitchen.
Okay.
And I'll kind of bring you guys in there. In this kitchen, he's got this spread laid out. Okay? And you can see in the corner, he has like a food, I'm going to say food processor or food maker, but it's not like a blender. It's like literally something that like creates food.
I know this item.
Yeah.
I know this item.
And he has laid out for each of you, this food vending machine has made whatever it is your character's favorite meal is. Now, it's synthetic and it's not going to taste amazing, but it is going to be pretty close to what you like. So I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but what is all of your character's favorite meal? Does anybody know it?
Yeah,
Right
steak and
off the bat?
potatoes.
Steak and potatoes for Auron. All right,
Yes.
stroganoff for Zeno.
It's actually the same with Fel. It's because time spent with Auron that
Yeah, that's
Quickly
what
became
that's
a
all
thing.
y'all
That's
ate
all
for
Auron
like a
cooked.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always like a steak and some baked potatoes.
Look, man, I can survive on steak and potatoes for a year.
Okay, we're gonna hold on for you, Ziva, because I imagine you probably have some intricate bullshit.
I really do. Thank you. God, Adam, thank you.
Awesome. So Heath, what is Mike's favorite meal?
He likes a good beef stir fry with a side of a little bit of sushi.
So this is gonna go all the way back to episode 1. He kind of likes beefy space pasta with a little bit of little fish on top. Little fish.
Yeah.
Little fish action.
Yes, he does.
Do you remember that when I asked you what
when
your
I was
favorite
so
type of
perplexed,
space pasta was?
Yeah, I was very perplexed.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
first. Well, but it's not so. It's more a rice dish than a pasta dish. I mean, like traditional stir.
Well, yeah, you're fair. Let's say it's orzo, so it's like a blend of the two.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
You good with that? All right, cool. All right, Ziva. What is Ziva's favorite dish?
So Ziva's favorite dish is a type of like a flat noodle, flat pasta, long flat pasta. Does anybody know what that one is? It's like linguine or something, maybe.
Not linguine, but you're talking about.
Is it like a Thai dish?
No,
It's like in
flat
between
rice.
linguine and fettuccine.
Yeah,
It's
something
like whatever the in between of that is.
Yeah, something fettuccine-ish. But it is that noodle with like essentially some kind of like a sautéed prawn with a black ink sauce.
Oh, okay.
But, like,
Fancy,
you're
bougie.
from the
Bougie
south.
as hell.
Like, why did you say prawn? That's a shrimp, baby.
Because it's Ziva.
How's it Ziva? Okay.
I guarantee you, if Emily was telling us about her favorite
that's
dish,
some
it'd be
fried
shrimp
shrimp.
Alfredo. But
So,
fried shrimp po' boy, But
Emily,
I almost want to
Ziva's
change mine
Ziva's
now.
classy,
Damn.
What?
I'll give you one. I'll give you one change, Zeno. But you have to tell me right now. No hemming or hawing. Pho. Okay, I like it. All right, so we're a noodle. We're kind of either steak and potatoes or bowls, whether it be rice bowls or pasta bowls. Okay, I can dig it. Hashachir is eating grubs.
Yeah, delicious.
Just it's pretty gross to watch, but he's trying to be like really conscious of his eating. Because he knows how different his meal is from the rest of yours. And so he's like kind of covering his mouth. He's like,
Like a lot of slurping and
It
chittering.
still makes Auron think of Grub, and he pours a little of his glass out for Grub.
No, I was
For-
just thinking that.
I catch that. I do the same. Mike pours a little out.
yeah, the whole table just kind of pours.
Not even
Grub
kidding.
Hashachir has
I was
no
waiting.
idea.
I was waiting for you to finish that statement.
That
You
wine is not cheap. Why are you pouring it on the ground?
I thought you were saying grubs something. He's like eating grubs. I'm like, okay, grubs what?
No, he's not eating grub. He's
Yeah.
eating
No,
grubs.
I got there.
Okay. Like Pumbaa and Timon from Lion King, right? Okay.
Slimy yet satisfying.
So you guys are sitting around the table. I think Auron's probably sitting very reserved in himself. I would think that probably Ziva and Sedona are kind of chatting. Mike, what's going on with you and Fel and Zeno? I know that you got a little something planned, right?
Yeah. Don't leave me on, motherfucker. I at some point during the evening,
It's not leading on, it's like leading in.
yeah, that's true. That's true. No, but at some point during the meal procession, as it were, Mike would kind of turn to Zeno. I think they would probably sit near each other, and he'd be like, "Hey, tonight's the night."
And just Zeno just kind of gives a subtle nod, like, tonight's the night,
I would say
And,
Fel's oblivious.
Roll a perception. Let's see how oblivious Fel is.
All right.
Let's see. That's a 6 plus 10, 8. So 14.
Yeah, you're pretty oblivious. You're just enjoying your meal. Your steak and potatoes.
Steak and taters. Synthetic steak and taters.
That's right. All right, so Mike, Zeno, you guys are talking about it's the night.
Yeah.
Your boy
And-
Fella is kind of just all up in his meal,
Okay, so Zeno is just going. I imagine he's sitting right next to Phil, and just kind of without any thought about it, he just kind of quickly turns over. No transition into it. And anyway, he just kind of goes straight into it, and to him, he's just, Felino, I have been contemplating the heroism you exhibited back on Golta. You've delayed my death, and for that, I am grateful from the bottom of my circuits for your valor. I'm sure Mike would like to add something to that, and he kind of kindly gestures over to Titanium Mike.
Look, so what my soft-spoken friend here is trying to express is that we got together and decided, because you saved my best friend's life, we'd like to make you an honorary member of the APA.
Yeah? Really?
Yeah.
Me?
You displayed, as he said, quite a high level of heroism. You didn't have to drag Zeno back. You didn't have to do that. You drug him back under fire from the Islante. You got him back safe and sound. Well, he became safe and sound, but he didn't fucking die, and that's the point, alright? So,
I appreciate that.
we have a little bit of a ceremony if you're gonna join the APA. And long story short, me and Zeno are gonna take you out drinking tonight, right?
I could use a fucking drink. That sounds good to me, boys.
Yeah, well,
Hashachir is like,
Wait. Before you get all sauced, I need to know what kind of things you want to put on your ship so I can go shopping tomorrow and upgrade your ship for you.
oh, perfect.
Oh, yeah, Hash. I've actually got that already written out, and he slides him a little, I guess, a piece of paper, listing out the exact things that he wants done. And says,
go ahead.
And says, I mean, it's nothing too crazy this time. Just a small power core upgrade, and some security stuff. Biometric locks. It's nothing too fancy.
So he's like looking over the list and he says,
Oh, yeah, well, I can do that. Yeah, I can do this.
and he looks up at you kind of apologetically. He's like,
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go out tomorrow and find this mount for this thing right here. But no worries, I'll get it done. It's gonna take about roughly a week to get all of these things done. But it's my pleasure to do it to you. Have free reign of my space dock in the meantime. But I'm gonna have to get up fairly early in the morning to go get this stuff.
Hey, Hash. Hey there, Hash.
Yeah?
Yeah, so, look, one of the upgrades I discussed with Fel that we wanted to make after our last encounter with the Islante is we wanted to post some weaponry on the ramp to the ship, yeah? So I got a gun I can just give you instead of us having to pay for one. And he pulls.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I have to go get the mount.
Yeah.
For the gun.
You're saying I got the gun, no problem.
Oh, well, that's good. That helps. Appreciate it. I, myself, am gonna go turn in for the evening, because I have to get up really early tomorrow to go find these items. But make yourself at home. Congratulations, Fel, on being part of whatever this is, and getting a date. That's all I've got.
and he like shoves the last bit of grubs in his mouth.
And I'll see you when I see you.
And he like walks out.
Before he walks out, Mike pulls the tactical railgun off his back and, here, you're gonna want this. And gives him a tactical railgun to mount.
Just leave it on the table. I'm fucking tired.
Alright.
So are Auron and Hash best friends yet? Like, I
Because
feel
we have a
like
grumbly voice.
it might be the same person.
We're kindred spirits.
We speak the same language.
So I think that probably Ziva and Auron are done with the day. Sedona's certainly going to retire. Auron's got his own shit on his mind. He's gonna probably retire, and Ziva, am I right in assuming that you're probably needing a recharge?
Oh, very
to
much
lead
so.
this team?
Yeah.
So that leaves Mike, Fel, and Zeno to have the APA induction ceremony. So, let's not take too much time on this. Obviously, you guys get hammered, right?
Yeah.
So, let's not too worry. You guys go to a place, you get fucking tanked. Probably to the Glimshar Pirates' little hangout. They start pouring shots freely. You guys get fucking tanked. Now, I'm not going to say that. Do you guys get tanked? Because the shots are definitely offered, on
Phil
that.
gets tanked.
I mean, I
Phil
think
gets really fucking tanked.
Zeno gets a bit drunk. Sure.
I think for a bit, Mike is like toasting, to Phil, to Zeno, to everything that's sentimental about the APA to him. But he restrains himself a bit. He knows he has a fight tomorrow.
Okay. So kind of quick bottom line, I guess, is what is the induction of Phil? Like, let's focus on that particular moment. You guys have gotten drunk. You guys have had a good time. You're kind of talking about the stories from Gulta and maybe even from Nikandis and everything before, and like really building Phil up. But then it gets serious for a moment, right? And it's like it's time to actually say, "Hey, you're part of the APA." How's that go?
Yeah, so, I mean, by this point, Mike's never going to be more than half drunk, But these guys are sauced, okay. And he turns and he says, look, we've had a good night tonight. This is what we do, all right? We're going to end this ceremony, as you'd call it, with an old tradition of the APA, and we're going to go get you an APA tattoo.
Wait, you gonna get me a what now?
Yep.
A tattoo, he said.
A tattoo? But I can... And Phil very sloppily shape-shifts on his shoulder and, like, pulls up his sleeve and very sloppily puts the APA symbol on his shoulder. He's like, look, I can do this. I got it. Oh, I need a tattoo.
Probably looks like a goldfish or something.
Most likely.
No.
That's a poor substitute.
We're going to get you a real tattoo.
And that's something to consider. This is like a portion of your body that you will no longer be able to change the appearance of.
Yeah.
Like a tattoo is going to permanently modify that particular area of your body. Now that's the requirement to join the APA.
All right, now look, guys. If can I get another shot?
You're drunk.
I want more shots.
Zeno's already pouring the shot.
To Phil!
Give me the shots. And Phil.
Meanwhile, the Glimshar Pirates are like, you are the one who's supposed to join this organization, and because you are the one that's supposed to join this organization, you are the one who has to get the tattoo, and the tattoo is representative of the organization that you are the one that's supposed to be a part of. So I think you should get the tattoo, and I can do it for you right here because I am skilled in the ways of tattoo, and because I am skilled in the ways of tattoo, I am the one to do this for you.
Phil looks at the Glimshar and just huge grin on his face. Just like, he's so sparkly. Look at him. Look at him go. Look at him. Unless it's hot. That guy. I like that guy. He's a fun, cool guy. Doesn't understand a word he's saying because he doesn't have a translator.
So
it looks like he's holding a tattoo pen.
So where are you getting a tattoo?
On your face.
On your baby toe. On your pinky.
On your neck.
Can I get a tiny one on the bottom side of my foot?
It works. I mean, it works.
Yes.
As long as you do it.
No, look, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Tramp stamp,
the
dude.
best.
Just do it.
Do the good thing. And where should I get it, guys? Where do you think I should put it?
Do
right
like,
above your ass crack.
Small of the back.
Yeah, the small of the back.
Skin shifts his that spot and like moons them and pulls his shirt up a little bit. It's like, hey, here. They think, oh, that's good.
Perfect spot.
Are you actually getting a tramp
being
stamp?
the funny.
Yeah, an APA tramp stamp.
I think he's trying to do me a funny. I don't know.
Well, this seems like a good place to any. I've seen lots of people get places here because this seems to a place to where you get a tattoo when you're drunk. Because when you're drunk, you don't care where it's on your body, and because of that, you're drunk, so you should get it here because that's the place you should get it. And I should be the one to do it because I'm the one who can do tattoos, and because I'm the one who can do tattoos, I'm the one who should do it.
Cool. Hey, can I ask you something? Is this bright? Is this bright?
Yeah.
Hey, can you wield 2 tattoo pins at one time?
So you're kind of like motioning that out with your hands, right? Because you're not
3
actually
tattoos.
hearing this. So you put out a number 3, or you put out 2, and then
Zeno
puts up a yeah. And so basically, you guys can get whatever tattoos you want. The bright crackle flicker dim is more than happy to ink you.
Right. I'm gonna get a tattoo of Chaz.
Yeah.
Now, who was Chaz again?
Chaz was my
For the listeners.
Pokemon.
That's right. Okay.
The Pyrantula.
Pyrantula.
Yeah, exactly.
Trademark.
Okay. All right. So that happens. You guys get fucking hammered. What about you, Zeno? What are you getting tattooed?
So I am getting drift formulas scrawled all across my back. So it's just like diagrams, mathematical equations, etc.
Whoa.
That took a
Going
turn.
hardcore with it.
That took a turn.
Okay.
I'm drunk. That's
I've got an idea.
I remember
for the
them all in my
location.
brain.
For the location of Fell's tattoo, I want to roll a d4. Let luck decide where it goes.
Hey, I like that idea.
One will be the lower back.
All right.
2 will be on the back shoulder. 3 will be on the right shoulder. 4 will be on the chest,
Let's do it. Roll it up.
like on one of the pecs. That's a 3, so shoulder.
Okay.
Shoulder. So it's actually goes on the shoulder.
wanna
And so like bright
shot.
like goes to put it on your back, and you're like, no, I don't think this should go there. And you like
Phil just kind of squirms around to get his shoulder under the.
He puts his shoulder. Okay, so you guys have a hell of a night, right? You guys do that. Fell is now an honorary member of the APA. You guys have matching tattoos. Plus, you guys each got some additional. Both Zeno and Mike got some additional tattoos, and you guys have a night. Josh, is there anything else that you want to add to this?
Yeah, Fell is going to continue drinking in celebration of this. Probably to the point that he is so far gone that he blacks out.
Yeah.
He's like literally put over Mike's shoulders and carried back to Hashishira's space dock.
Yes, exactly.
All right, perfect. All right.
As we're walking back, late night, and walking through the different alleys, and it's dim and dark, and kind of not really much left to say, kind of to fill in the awkward silence, and also feeling a bit bothered himself. We see Zeno just kind of like keep on looking back and forth over at Mike, and anyway, he finally builds up the courage and says, "Michael, I need to tell you something that I wanted to tell you back on Golta, but it was not the time or place. But the bookie you owed, he had a mishap, as you're aware.
I mean, yeah,
The
I was.
kind of mishap that you don't come back from.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
I was the mishap, right? I get that.
Well, no, and he just kind of like walks in front of Michael, trying to put on a serious face. I mean, more serious than what an android, normally looks. No, listen to me, Michael. I'm the one who killed the bookie.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Good joke.
No, seriously, Michael. After you had beaten him severely, the man wasn't quite finished with you. As he laid on the ground, I channeled electricity throughout his body, and he succumbed to that injury.
What? No, I beat him to death. I mean, I got charged for it.
No, I killed him.
Why?
Look, I did this because... Okay. I don't think that you fully comprehend how badly this man was beaten. His pain threshold had to have reached the maximum. His cranium, my God, it was caved inward. This man would have never left the hospital. One might even call it an act of mercy, but this man was not a good man. He was going to pull a weapon on you. Even if he was blind, I wasn't going to risk the chance of a lucky shot killing my friend. And it's not very sporting to fire on an unarmed opponent.
I mean, I'll give you that, but why didn't you say something?
I tried to turn myself in. The police wouldn't have it. They saw a massive Vesk, his violent history, the man's injuries, and my own, diminutive stature.
We're going to cut the scene right there. The next day, the next morning, Fel and Zeno are certainly hungover. Fel probably more so than anybody. Mike, on the other hand, is not hungover, but he is deep, deep in his thoughts. Hashachir has breakfast waiting for you in the morning. You guys all wake up refreshed. You know, you all wake up feeling better than you have in quite some time. And he has breakfast waiting for you. All your favorite breakfast dishes. We don't have to get into that.
Steak and eggs.
Steak and eggs for both Auron and Fel. Yeah, so you guys have... But he's gone. He's not there. Hashachir's not there. Sedona gets out of the pod, but then just like kind of lays herself down, kind of on the couch. Just she's in full recovery mode. So, Auron, let's start with you this morning. You have a lot on your mind. And
Absolutely.
We're not gonna necessarily get into that too much. But what do you do in the morning after you eat? You don't say anything to the crew. What do you do?
Auron wants to clear his head. He's got a lot on his mind, and he needs some space. He needs, he also needs to, I think, come to grips with the nature of his connection. You know what I mean? Sedona, his Jedi master, she, told him that he needs to embrace it. And there's something that he wants to do that he hasn't done in a long, long time. And Auron is going to just make his way, kind of, slip off and make his way to the force field at the edge of the docking bay. And, he's going to take off his, if he's wearing his bandolier, gun belt and all that, he'll take all that off. And he just kind of looks out at the, out of the force field into open air. And he just takes a real long sigh and a deep breath and jumps through the lock. And just floats out into space.
Through the force field?
Yeah.
Into outer space.
Into outer space. And now, the thing about Star Shamans is our level 1 feature. It's called Walk the Void. And you actually are immune to the vacuum of space. And you also get a flying speed while you're in space. And Auron has not flown on his own since the first time. And so he wants to test the strength of his connection. Absolutely, it's definitely a leap of faith. And he starts to drift. So yeah, Auron just takes off, and I mean, he goes to breathe and then realizes that he doesn't need to, and he feels this sort of tingling in his stomach, but it's not really butterflies so much as it's like, I don't know, cosmic energy manipulating his organs on a cellular level to keep him from dying, right? He takes off and he's able to fly, and I think even probably he'll activate his starlight form and just Iron Man around, barrel rolls, doing flipping burns, just absolutely going ham, like just pure joy, and he eventually kind of wears his energy out and chills out. Just gonna drop star form, and he'll spend a little time just drifting in space.
So as Auron drifts in space through this open expanse, so does his mind. Auron attempts to put the interaction with the gunsmith out of his mind, yet he is flooded with memories from a very different time in his life. I need y'all to doodly-doo. The suns of the planet Vastitas 9 beat down on the desert's cracked surface as Auron Vance jets across the arid terrain in his single-man delivery starship, the Sierra Scout. Sure, it isn't as impressive as the Copper, but Auron loves his ship, down to every last detail and indigo inlay save for one huge blight, the key insignia of Abadar Corps. It always bothered Auron that the company expected such discretion during their off-book missions, yet were so insistent upon advertising their brand everywhere, including his precious ship. The Scout was the one thing that he thought was his, paid in full with his own salary, but no. Abadar always gets his tithe. What can you do, though, when your very life is the debt you owe? Auron sees his destination ahead, pulls back the throttle, and approaches the settlement at a much more casual and inconspicuous speed. Rogue Oasis was the only proper town on this mostly inhospitable excuse of a planet. The settlement was funded by Abadar Corps due to the deep well in the center of the town that tapped into the single but very valuable resource that this planet provides, a cheap and efficient fuel source. In fact, that's why Auron was here. His latest delivery was a new piece of proprietary technology that would be used to frack the planet even further. Just another cog in the Abadar Corps machine. The pilot brings the Sierra Scout to a stop, and Auron disembarks, his black duster rippling in the gentle but hot breeze, revealing a well-kept laser pistol on his hip. He secures the ship with a pinprick of his finger for the DNA-required security measures, and to spite Abadar Corps' marketing division, pulls a cover over the giant key logo. Auron walks towards the center of town, looking for the nearest saloon to wet his whistle, catching sideways glances from skittering Nisokis, underfed humans, and the various other misfits that have found a home in Rogue Oasis. Auron sees a neon flickering sign that says, "The Wastelands," though the L, the A, and the N seem to be blown. He pushes through the antique doors and enters the seedy bar. The stark difference in light is jolting as he enters a room steeped in shadows like a barrier against the twin sun's oppressive beams. The saloon is crowded but subdued, as if joy was something to be kept hidden, or maybe just forgotten. There's only one bar stool available at the bar. So Auron throws back his black duster, adjusts his holster, and takes a seat. He gruffs something that he hopes passes as a request for a drink. Surely it would be something strong. The overweight and underdressed bartender returns with a foggy mug filled with some foul-smelling liquid. But Auron takes it from him and deftly spins an old-school coin on the bar. I haven't seen an actual physical money like that in a long time, a soothing but confident voice says to Auron's right. Auron cuts his eyes to see who addressed him, and sitting next to the pilot is a beautiful elvish woman, dressed in all black, clearly outfitted for the rough and tumble nature of this settlement. She has a survival knife in plain view on her hip, and Auron can see the print of a concealed pistol tucked in her waistband. Despite the weaponry, her presence is enchanting and disarming. Her almond green eyes radiate with an intensity that is only surpassed by her smile. Auron takes a second to gather himself and responds.
Yeah, I like him. There's something about him that feels real in a way that cred sticks don't. Name's Auron, ma'am.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Auron. My name is Evelyn, and I certainly can understand your love for the things of old. I myself am a collector of curiosities and such. It's nice to see that somebody appreciates the more tactile things in life.
I agree. Can I buy you a drink?
Oh, please, do. And the two continue their banter. A few drinks later, the pretense is no longer sustainable. The mutual attraction is real, palatable, and undeniable. Auron begins to offer to secure a motel room, but Evelyn, with a slight blush, tells him that she already has one. They all but run to the room, and as soon as they close the door behind them, they embrace lustily and fiercely. The evening is filled with intense and powerful passion. The following morning, Auron awakes to Evelyn, twirling his chest hairs as she almost seems to bear into his soul with that smiling, deep-eyed gaze. He smiles back and surveys the room. It is in tatters, evidence of the athleticism of their coitus. His smile deepens. The transformative effect that the expression has on Auron's features is startling, and he can see Evelyn react for just a moment with something that looks like regret? Pity? But it's only there for a second, and her beautiful, engaging face returns. It is at that moment that Auron knows he is doomed. He had spent his whole life avoiding this, but now it has hit him like a ton of bricks. Here in this godforsaken shithole of a planet, nonetheless. Auron is in love. Auron shakes himself out of this reverie.
Emily's facial expressions. Huh? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not even that. Emily pulling out the notebook and like scribbling stuff down.
Yeah, no, but like Auron in the present, like kind of like violently shakes that memory out of his head. He's like, you know, and he goes to reach for his rifle, but forgets that it's not there, and slowly moves his way back into the dock after his little jaunt out in space.
Okay. Yeah. He heads in.
Okay. So, during this time, I imagine that Mike and Fell are probably going to continue on their armor construction. However, Mike's perspective might be a bit changed. So let's cut to that scene as Mike and Fell are back on the ship, on the Epic Tracer, working in their workshop on the armor that was meant for Zeno.
Fell's eyes are squinted really hard. He has 2 sets of hearing protection on, earplugs and earmuffs. He's just, oh my god, Mike, do you have to make so much fucking noise?
That's engineering, mate.
I know, but
It's what you do.
I don't think I've ever... Oh... What did we even do last night? And why the fuck does my shoulder hurt?
Look, don't worry about it. Look, just help me with this shoulder joint, right?
Yeah, okay. And he grabs a little welding torch and kind of leans in to start work with it.
Yeah, so like as they're working on the shoulder joint of one of these pieces of armor, because there's 2 being made, but I think we're working on Zeno's right now. Mike kind of noticeably, for one, isn't hungover, and for another, kind of retreats into himself a little bit. You know, like he seemed visibly irritated when he got here, but once you start your work, he seems to like chill out. His shoulders relax a little bit. He focuses on the work that he's doing, and he starts talking to himself, whether or not you can hear him. And he's assuming that you're listening to him, whether or not you are. And he starts talking and says, working on armor like this, it always reminds me of my pops, my dad Rupert. I remember one time I got in a fight at school with this kid that had been, believe it or not, picking on me. When I got home from school, suspended, I thought my pops was going to kill me. To my surprise, he didn't seem that mad at all. Maybe a bit thoughtful, some disappointment behind those big eyes. But he took me to the workshop and had me help him with a set of Vesk Brigandine armor he was upgrading. He told me while we were tinkering with the elbow joint that in life, like in engineering, you've got to focus on the part you're working on, not what you just finished with, and not the many parts you may have yet to tinker with. You've got to focus on the present, or you'll lose sight of what you're doing and make a mistake. I thought it was an innocuous bit of engineering advice at the time, but that sentiment it's really always stuck with me. Live in the present is something I've always struggled with at times in my life. I've wallowed in the past or eagerly looked to the future. It's only when I'm working on armor, tinkering like this, that I can let that all go. It's how I find my zen. Well, that and fighting. God, he'd hate that fighting bit.
You know your dad wasn't wrong, right? I mean, my dad was a farmer, and well, shit, I grew up on a fucking farm. He pretty much told me the same thing. It's not about where you're trying to go. It's about being right here, right now.
Yeah, I mean,
It's the steps that get us there that you have to appreciate, not what you're trying to get to.
you know, you're right. You're right. I mean, that's a lesson that took me a long time to learn. And I'll never forget it. It's just something I struggle with daily. But look, let's get in the present now and keep working on this armor.
Yeah, of course. And Fell ditches one of this. I guess actually before he responds, he would have ditched the one of the sets of hearing protection, and yeah, they just get back to work on the armor
Yeah,
together.
just slap you on the shoulder and then get back to work.
And it hurts like a motherfucker. What?
And I imagine this is happening fairly early in the day, and then you guys put some hours into it. Then Mike's going to need to kind of start getting ready for the fight this evening.
That's right.
And so he's probably at some point going to shift to that. Let's go to Ziva. What are you doing this morning?
So Ziva's just kind of, when we got out of the pods and stretched and all that good stuff and got ourselves up and a going, she's gonna kind of look to Sedona and see where she's at. What's Sedona up to?
She's just kind of laying on the couch, and she sees you come up. She kind of sits up and she says, "Oh, Ziva, I'm glad to see you. I was actually hoping to find you and speak with you this morning. Would you care to take a walk with me?"
Of course, that would be lovely. And she kind of extends her hand and they join arms and walk out into the station. What did you want to speak about?
She says, "Well, Ziva, it's been a minute since we've last seen each other. And, well, I have to ask you, did I ask too much to thrust you into this captaincy over this crew? Are you okay? How are you, my dear?" And she's like kind of like arm in arm with you, right? Mm-hmm. Like she's got her arm kind of wrapped around your arm.
Ziva just kind of chuckles, kind of a little dryly. She says, "I'll be honest, Sedona, I did not think that it was going to take us this far out into the dark, but for you, I'm more than willing to do this. And I will say, when you first suggested some of these individuals, I was a little bit confused. I wasn't exactly sure how all of them would come into play, but you chose very well. I couldn't have asked for a better crew.
So they have all served you well, then?
Of course. Them serving me was never an issue. It was my shortcomings that I had the most issue with. I don't know if you're aware, Sedona, but it's a lot easier to manage a business than it is to manage keeping people alive.
Oh, I definitely know. But I also saw in you that you had the capabilities to do this. Tell me, particular questions about two of the crew. One, tell me how Felino has done. I am afraid, and I can't help. Well, the entire time that I was in captivity, they left me this memory, the bastards, of course they did. Was my guilt of bringing Fel into this entire mess. Was I wrong to ask him?
Sidona, Fel has grown, as have, I believe, most of the crew over this journey. And if you would have asked me a bit earlier in our escapades, I don't know that I could have answered it as such, but I will tell you this now. I trust Fel with my life. I trust him with the lives of the rest of the crew because he has come through. He is an absolute asset to our team, and many of us would not be here without him, specifically Zeno. But
speaking of Zeno, that is the second question I have. Tell me your read on this, on Zeno.
To be fair, I think the only one harder to read would of course be Auron, because he's just so, I don't know.
Do not worry about Auron.
He's especially
I have
not
no
to
doubts
crack, yes?
about his play. Well, yes, of course. I don't know he'll ever be cracked, so to speak. But I have no doubts about my choice as him as the pilot. And I'm not saying that I have doubts about Zeno. I'm merely curious of your interpretation.
Of course. He is so soft-spoken and is very quiet, and often I almost lose track of him sometimes in the shadow of Mikhail, but he is
hard to see, isn't he? And do you understand what I mean by see? Obviously we can see him, but he is hard to see.
Which I think can sometimes be to our advantage. It is sometimes very good to have someone a bit more brash, but it's very good to have someone a little bit more subtle. And Zeno has certainly had many moments where he has brought that subtlety to the table, and it has been most appreciated.
Sedona kind of is quiet for a moment, contemplative as you're walking. And then she kind of, as she's arm in arm, she reaches across herself and kind of pats you on the shoulder, and she says, "Well, we are a crew now, aren't we?"
Yes, well, of course we are. You have asked your questions of me. Would you mind if I return the favor?
Please, my dear.
I know that you mentioned that your time with the Aslanti is a bit fussy, that they took some of your memories. How are you? And do not mean physically.
I'm not well, I won't lie. My dear Ziva, they have extracted everything that I knew about the Rune Drive, everything that happened to me since I was kidnapped. These are memories that one would normally want to forget, but I can't help but think that if I had access to these memories, I could help, I could do more. They stole me, Ziva.
Yes.
These Aslanti, they violated my very knowledge
Forgive my ignorance, but is this something of a programming, or is this more of a mental blockage? Is there some way that we could trigger these memories, open them up, or has it been completely extracted?
I am only hoping that my connection to the greater knowledge of the universe will help me retrieve these memories. I can't know. I'm sorry, Ziva. And she, like, all of a sudden, like, gets much more tired, like, instantly at this. Like, you can feel her deflate some, you know. She's like, I know that you mean well, my dear, but I think I just need time.
Of course. I completely understand. Just know that if you have any ideas, any thoughts of how we might be able to help you in any way, let me know. As you say, we are a crew. And
you are my captain. And she gives you a soft kiss on the cheek.
Well, as your captain, I have one more request of you. Tell me, Sedona, why did your face fall when Arfel was speaking about his date?
It seems as if your crew has made some friends here on Outpost Z. I don't know if it has hit them, but they are going to have to say goodbye to these people forever. Because once we go to Aurelos, wherever that is, we will not be able to return here. We will have to leave Aslante's star space immediately. There is no future for relationships here. And it made me sad to see Fel so happy. And just to know that it will only end in heartbreak. And that's where we're in the scene.
Okay.
So we're going to kind of fast forward in time a little bit to the evening. And it's about time for Mike's first big fight. And
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, so it's about 30 minutes before the fight. So you guys are all kind of back together and at the arena, which is basically just kind of a roughshod boxing ring that's been set up. All the gambling tables have been moved away from the Glimshar Pirates' little nook. They've like kind of pushed those aside and set up a boxing arena and some bleachers and then fold out chairs in the front.
Real quick.
So it's, yeah?
You don't know when she had time to do it, but Ziva has constructed matching outfits for all of us, like boxing, like the stars and stripes, kind of like everybody's matching. Yes, shit's legit. Sorry, please continue.
No, that's awesome. So like you guys are basically the hype team for Titanium Mike. And Titanium Mike, I imagine, you know, you've got your robe on, and this is bare knuckle boxing, y'all. So there's no gloves.
It's actually a white and orange get up.
Okay.
But
White
we
and orange.
do I have like my own room?
Well, you have like your own little space that's like the five of you are kind of huddled up in.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Primary color orange, trim white is everybody's thing, but. You know, once we get to kind of the area that we would get together and prepare for the fight or whatever, which I want to say, we've already spent a lot of time. He definitely did some training to get ready, at least went and hit the gym.
Yeah.
You know? But once we all get into the room together, he, in front of everybody, turns to Fel and is like, "Hey, Fel, would you do me the honor of being my primary corner man?"
I have no idea what that entails, but hell yeah, man, I'm down.
Zeno picks up on that.
Yeah, that's
Top
why.
left in the HUD.
Why I said
Zeno
it.
remembers that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Mike's upset with Zeno, you know. But yeah, so pretty much what that entails, Josh, just so you know, is like squirting water in his face, wiping the blood out of his eye if it happens, basically giving him the massage. You're basically his little kind of like get in there and do it kind of
Cut
guy.
me,
you know?
Yeah, cut me, Mick.
Yeah.
But also, like, if I'm falling susceptible to a particular kind of punch, like, you know, tell me to watch out for that thing. You know, basic,
Yeah.
rudimentary boxing knowledge.
So
I'm putting you
speaking
in
I've
there.
of,
played Punch Out.
I'm just
I've
curious.
played Punch Out. I think we're good.
No, I'm
What you
just
curious
curious.
about?
If let's just say Ziva's cheering Mike on, and she just happens to blurt out, "Get him!"
It's a cheat. It's
There he
cheating.
kind of. Is it cheating?
It is cheating.
That would be considered
The thing-
cheating.
like-
She would have to do
so,
it
hold on,
stealthily if she
I got a
wanted to
thing
do
for
that.
this. I got a thing for this. Okay, so in the room, I think Mike's probably walking around wall to wall, if there are even fucking walls, and just punching walls with his gloves on. And at one point, he just turns around. And
There's no gloves.
There's no gloves.
I mean, but there's like
Remember,
there's
it's
hand
bare knuckle
grabs
box.
because his claws can't be
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exposed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but he'd still be like punching random stuff. That's what you do in preparation for a punchy fight.
Right.
But he'd turn to the guys and be like, "Look, I know you guys got a particular set of skills for each one of you. Don't fucking enhance me in any way. I'm not a cheater. I want to win this fight fair and square."
Of course, Mikhail. We would never think of doing such. Wink.
Never in a million years.
And as she does that wink, you hear kind of like through the curtain, like you have this little curtained off area of the room. And you hear through the curtain, like kind of, at first you hear, and then it's like going through like this weird translator that's like projecting into the whole room. And it says, "Let's get ready to rumble, because this is the thing that we do when we rumble, which is to fight each other and to put these two opponents versus each other, and one of them will win, and then the winner will go on to do the next fight because they're the one who won the fight. If you're ready to rumble, then I want everybody to clap their hands because that's what you do when you're ready to rumble." And we'll see you.
I loved it.
Amazing.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Is it Hashishir translating?
No, it's like this
It's a
like
fucking strobe
device. Yeah. And we'll fucking see you next week, and we'll fight.
Oh god.
Wow.
That's great.
This episode has been sponsored by Roll20. This is how we roll.